Hello, welcome here or welcome back. My name is Michaela. I'm a wife, a mom, and a knitter from British Columbia, Canada, and this is Galanthus Knits. Hello from my greenhouse. I don't know if the sound is going to be nice in here or not. We'll try it out for today. We'll see how I feel about it after I start editing and everything, but the light situation in my house today has been just horrendous. So I've tried to film a few clips here and there to test out the lighting, and it's just been really bad. So I thought I'll give it a go in the greenhouse. I'm sitting amongst some pots and some pieces of wood that's drying for fireplaces and fire pits and things. It is windy outside, so you might hear some rattling. And then also it is rush hour, so you may also hear some cars on the road up there. I will try to stop talking if I hear any loud motorcycles or anything going by, but this is kind of what we have to work with for now. We're also racing against the clock because it is 4:16 p.m. and the sun officially sets at 4:40 now, so we have just under half an hour before the sun goes behind the mountain. Anyhow, let's get started then. I feel like I haven't done this for ages. I don't think I've filmed much of anything in October. Maybe I did. It feels like it's been a long time. I have been doing some knitting, but if I'm honest, my knitting this past month has felt overwhelming to me rather than relaxing. And I think I have been trying to rush through things a little bit too much lately, and putting pressure on myself to get things finished by certain times and certain deadlines, and some of those deadlines exist and some of them don't. They just exist in my mind. So yeah, I think I need to just slow down a bit, reorganize my mind, reorganize my thoughts, which is what I've been trying to do the past week. I have also been struggling with some health complications. It's ongoing for the past several months, but this month I've had quite a few meatier or heavier doctor's appointments and things like that, so it's taken a bit of a toll on me. So I apologize if I seem a bit scatterbrained or if I seem not really in it. I think I have been struggling to put myself in a place of enjoyment in my knitting in the past few weeks, if that makes sense. Yeah, so which is just unfortunate because I do love knitting, and I rarely go through these knitting slumps, but I think this month has just felt a bit heavy for me, so that's kind of my caveat. But I do have some things to talk about, and yeah, I guess we can just get started. So the first thing maybe I should show you is two finished objects that are part of a set, and a set that I'm doing for a baby. And then I have another finished object that I'm actually going to frog, but I'll show it to you anyhow. And then another finished object that has something that I need to fix. I need to go back and fix. So I will show that to you. Oh, and this. So you will know what this is if you've seen my previous videos, but this is the baby Bella dress that I knitted for my daughter. Now, in my last video, I talked about how I couldn't find the rest of the yarn to finish it, and it's Durarium Natura Albertine, and I couldn't find it anywhere local to me. There's a few shops that sell Durarium Natura, but not Albertine. A few of you commented and gave me your suggestions for yarn shops that do carry it, so I thank you for that. My last sort of local resort was, local, it's still like a few hours away, but I was on the way anyway, was the shop in Squamish, British Columbia, and they didn't carry it either. So I actually ended up ordering it online from a yarn shop that had a decent shipping price, but that shop was in Ontario, so it came a long way, and I finished the dress. It is size 18 to 24 months, and my daughter is currently 15 months, so it'll fit her in the spring-ish. You can tell, yes you can, where that line is because the dye lot had a bit of a change, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, it's perfect. I love it so much. It's beautiful. I love this yarn. I love this pattern. It's so squishy, and I honestly, I can't wait to see her wearing it in the spring. Yeah, so, oh, I will say, along with that order of the one skein that I needed, I ordered a few other skeins of Durarum Natura Albertine for future baby knits. I didn't bring those skeins down to the greenhouse, but they're in a yellowish color, and I plan on knitting something for a little baby who will be born in January. So I'll be knitting with those those two skeins quite soon. So you'll see that probably in my next episode, I think. But yeah, look at that. It's so cute. I just like this pattern a lot. Okay, so the set that I knitted for a different baby is the Ellen's Coming Home set, I think it's called, by PetiteKnit. I finished the sweater for it, and I'm still working on the pants, so I will show you those in a minute. But this is the sweater. It's in newborn size, so this baby is due at the end of November, so I kind of knitted it in this sort of, kind of, what I think is like a nod to Christmas, you know, like this baby can wear it kind of in December as well, until she grows out of it. So the bottoms are knitted in the same yarn. I don't remember the name of the yarn. I will pop it here, but it was a sort of affordable yarn I found at my local yarn shop, and it isn't 100% natural fibers. It has wool in it, but I think it was also acrylic, which I will write the composition of the fibers on the side of the screen here. But I really like how squishy it is. I like how quickly it knit up. I think I finished it in like 4 days, this sweater. And then I'm knitting the pants to go with it, but I haven't finished. But I'll show you what they look like. Which side? Okay. So these are the pants, and I finished one leg, working on the other. There's a roll over section at the top here to insert an elastic later, which I need to pick up at some point. But you roll it over and you sew it up on the inside with the elastic inside. And I've done this before with baby pants. And it's pretty simple. And it has a nice effect. And then I'm going to put 2 little buttons on the top here to match with the buttons on here. I did consider perhaps not doing the buttons, but then I thought it will just be easier to identify what is the front and what is the back of the pants, because there are short rows to give the bum a little bit more room. Yeah, I really like this set. I think it's cute. It's for a little girl. And then I wanted to knit a bonnet with it. This set comes with a bonnet, but it's a very simple pattern. So I decided to instead knit the Shetland lace bonnet from Fox and Folk, and I've knitted this pattern before for a different little baby, which I talked about in a few episodes ago. But I knitted it in a wool. This is 100% wool. It is leftover drops Lima from when I knitted my daughter's Arden cardigan. Look how gorgeous the details are in this pattern. It is one of my favorite baby bonnet patterns, and Fox and Folk has absolutely stunning patterns, but I think I've knitted quite a few of them, and I've done a test knit for her before, but this is one of my favorite patterns of hers, and I've never seen anyone else knit it like online or anything. But if you're looking for a nice baby bonnet pattern that is lacy but not too hard, you do have to use a cable needle for one of the stitches. So if you're uncomfortable with that, then maybe this isn't like the first kind of bonnet to tackle, but I really like this one. It is fairly simple. So the only thing is I knitted this up in the smallest size. It's the newborn size, and my gauge seemed to be correct based on my swatch, but it turned out bigger than it was supposed to. So I don't know if it's actually going to fit the baby's head at the same time as she'll fit into this set. but I'll give it to the family anyways, and they can, I mean, bonnets are, you know, even if they're a bit big, I always put them on my daughter when she was too small for the bonnets that I made until she grew into them. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm currently working on. I did one like last night, and I started the other one during my daughter's nap earlier today. But yeah, that's my current active whip. Okay, last night I finished up my Stockholm Slipover V-neck that I was working on since the beginning of October or the end of September, I can't remember, in that dye bath yarn that I picked up in Bath a few years ago. And I like it, but there's an issue that I need to go back and fix. So this is it. I haven't woven in all the ends yet, but I did block it because I wanted to see how the blocking would kind of fix what I was concerned about, which it didn't, but I'll explain. Okay, this is it. It's beautiful. The yarn really shines in this pattern, I think. Now, my issue is that even though I picked up the correct number of stitches for the ribbing on the arms, it drapes, it's too wide. It hangs weirdly, and it needs to cinch in a bit more. So I need to redo both sides. The V-neck is fine. I picked up the correct number of stitches for the V-neck and it sits fine. But for some reason, there's a weird gape that happens kind of in the armpit area of both sides. And I will insert kind of B-roll footage that I took earlier to kind of try to explain what I mean. But you'll see it. It's not subtle. I don't think it's subtle. So I'm going to have to just start again on that and do less stitches. I'll count them and make sure that I know the number of stitches that I did, and then I'll decrease it by like 10, maybe more. I don't know. So that's my only issue with it, which is a bit disappointing because I was hoping to wear it quite soon. I just want to be done with this yarn. I've had it in my stash for so long, and it's beautiful, but I'm finished working with it for now. Although I have a skein and a bit left of it, which I'm thinking I might do another like a matching one for my daughter, because I think that would be enough. I think that would be enough yarn to do a little like two-year-old one for her for next year. And PetiteKnit doesn't have the V-neck Stockholm Slipover in child size, but she has the O-neck one, so I could just do that. Or I could do a different slipover pattern, like whatever. But I really like it other than this gaping. So I really hope that going back and doing it again with less stitches will actually prove to fix the problem, because otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do with this yarn, because this is the 4th project that I've tried knitting with it. Yeah, so let me know if you think that redoing it with less stitches will fix it. I think it will, but yeah, I will attempt. I probably won't tackle that for a little while. I think I'm just going to focus on some other projects for right now. Lots of babies still being born, so I still have lots of baby knits to do. And there's a few Christmassy things that I want to do as well. So I don't think I will fix this for a little while, which is fine. I'm going to have to be fine with it, I think. Okay, and the other finished object that I knitted while I was on the road trip up to Whistler a few weeks ago that I'm going to frog. And I will show you what it is. I had purchased this lovely skein of hand-dyed yarn. I think it was... Oh, I should have brought the label down. I didn't. Anyway, I'll put it on the screen what the yarn was, and what the skein looked like before it was, before I wound it up. But I bought it at Flock Fiber Festival, and I love the colors in it. But I felt like once I started knitting with it, there were more white patches than colorful patches. So like if you see the picture of the skein here, it looks like there's a lot more yellows and like burnt parts, I don't know, rusty parts from the way that it's like hanked, but there wasn't. On the inside it's like a lot of just white yarn, and I didn't really like, I was starting to knit a toque with it for myself. I didn't really like that it was mostly white. So I went back and decided to hold it together with Knitting for Olive's merino in the color Dusty Honey to give more yellow and to kind of hide the whiter parts, like just make it more colorful. So I held them together and I knitted this kind of self-drafted hat. And this is what it looks like. And I decided to do a rib, like a fold over rib, and then do the rest in stockinette. And I split the top into 4 sections and decreased around those 4 sections. And I don't love it. So I don't like the way that it sits on my head. I did wear it the whole time we were in Whistler, or part of the time, because I brought another hat just in case this one didn't work out. Yeah, I didn't end up loving it in the end. And I'm going to frog it. I still have more than half of that original skein that I was using left over. So I think what I'm going to do is knit a ribbed toque holding 3 yarns together, 1 Knitting for Olive merino in Dusty Honey, and then 2 of the hand dyed one that I have. And then it will be thicker, it'll just be ribbed, and it'll be like a bit chunkier, and then I'll split the top into 6 sections instead of 4 sections because I don't like the way that it sits on my head with just the 4 sections. I knitted another toque on the trip, or like after I came back from the trip to Whistler, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I split that one into 6 sections at the top, and it's a ribbed hat, and I like the way that one turned out so much more than I like this one. I'll put it on for you so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just maybe not what I was expecting. I took a few pictures up when I was hiking up in Whistler with my husband and our daughter, and I looked at the pictures again and I saw like the hat was kind of gaping weirdly at the top, and I'll post the picture here so you can see what I mean. And I just didn't really like the look, and I think it's because it's split into 4 instead of 6, which is what I usually do for a toque, or what I've done for previous patterns that I've knitted. So I will rip back and I will knit it again. But yeah, you can kind of see, you'll see the variation in the color. You can see the whites and the yellows, and then there's kind of like very few specks of that kind of burnt reddish color that looked like the skein, the way that it was hanked up, looked like there was maybe going to be more of that color in it, and there's just hardly any. Like, here's a speck. And there's just like there's just little specks of it here and there, and I was hoping for more of it. So that's slightly disappointing, but doesn't matter. It is what it is, and I will make something beautiful out of it once I frog what this had become. So that's my update on that. This was also kind of a spur of the moment knit, because I needed something to take up on the trip with me, and I just kind of grabbed a few things and did some experimentation in the car, and I don't regret that, but it just didn't turn out the way that I was hoping. I have knitted a few other things in the past couple of weeks for a package that I sent off to my friend in the UK. So I just took a little clip a little while back talking about what those were that I knitted for her, because I didn't want to delay shipping the package, because sometimes it takes over a month to ship things from Canada to England. Hi, past Michaela here to talk a little bit about some of the gift knits that I'm about to ship out to a friend who lives in the UK. For those of you who don't know, my husband and I lived in the UK for 6 years while he was doing his PhD. So we were there from the very beginning of 2017 until the very end of 2022. So I made a lot of friends while I was there, and one of the ways that I really want to keep in touch with those friends is by sending them gifts and things like that. So, and I did the same when I was living in the UK, shipping things back to my friends in Canada on a regular basis, just because I want to still share love with them and be connected and not lose touch. I know that it's hard to keep in touch when you live an ocean away, and this is just one of the ways that I'm trying to stay connected with them. Anyways, one of my friends, I decided this year to make her an advent calendar. So I have been collecting over the past year 24 small gifts to give to her in this advent calendar so that she can open up a little gift every single day leading up to Christmas Eve. And some of the gifts have been like Canadian chocolate bars, a little bottle of maple syrup, some chapstick, a postcard from a trip that I had been on when I was thinking about her, and I wrote it to her, but I didn't send it. I'm saving it for the advent calendar. So I did 3 knitted gifts, little knitted gifts to go into that calendar. And I think it's maybe mentioned this before, but one of them is this blue scrunchie. And this was just a free scrunchie pattern that I found online, and it was super easy. There's an elastic inside, and this was just scrap cotton blue yarn that I had from a previous project. And this friend really likes the color blue. So the second gift that I decided to put in there is a little Christmas ornament. And I got this idea from another podcaster that I watch. Her name is Ev. What is her channel called? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I will put it here. And she's also from British Columbia, or maybe, I don't think she's from here, but she lives here now. And she did like a little Christmas ornament. She was doing a lot of Christmas ornaments, I think, and one of the ones she did was like a little pretzel. So I decided to do that as well. So yeah, it's like a little German pretzel. I didn't follow a pattern for this. I just did an I-cord. I think it was a 4-stitch I-cord on 4mm needles, and I used scrap yarn of a worsted weight-ish. DK to worsted weight. It's in this sort of caramelly brown color, which I thought looked quite baked. And then I just stitched on some white to look like little pieces of salt. So that's how it turned out. I just folded it into a pretzel shape and then I stitched it closed. And I really like how it turned out. I knitted it in like an hour. Like I did the whole thing in an hour, knitted, stitched, whatever, and then it was super easy. So I might make a few others. I think it's really cute. And I think she'll like it. And then the last thing that I knitted for her was something a bit bigger, and a few weeks ago I took a trip up to Whistler and I stopped at the yarn shop in Squamish, which is one of my favorite yarn shops, and I picked up a skein of this yarn, which is the Fiber Co, and it's called Amble Wandering Souls. I think it's meant to be a sock yarn because the composition of the fiber is 70% wool, 20% alpaca, and 10% nylon. And that nylon is usually there for sock purposes. So, yeah, but it's a fingering weight. And I was looking at I liked the feeling of it. It was quite squishy. And I was looking at all the different colors and just humming and hawing about what kind of yarn I wanted to buy for this particular project for her. And I saw that the colorway for this yarn is Windermere, which is a lake up in the Lake District in England. And I took a few different trips up to the Lake District, and and to Windermere with this particular friend who I'm sending it to. And we have such fond memories of kayaking on Lake Windermere. And yeah, anyway, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, here it is. This is the one that I'm going to do. So it's this, again, blue color. And I knitted this toque for her. It's kind of just a classic ribbed toque. I held the yarn double, so I balled it up and then split it in half and worked with two and worked it while being held double. I think I used 4mm. Let me check my notes. Okay, I used 4mm needles, and I didn't follow a particular pattern for this toque. I just self-drafted it, and I did it in a way that I thought looked nice. So I ended up doing, I casted on 90 stitches at the beginning, and I worked in ribbing until it was 24 centimeters in length, and then I started to do the decreases. Now, for the decreases, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do until I reached that point, and I decided to do something different that I haven't done before, and I really like the effect. So as you can see, the top sort of has like this spirally look, and that is because I split the top into 6 sections, I believe, and then I decreased just on one side every time that I got to the marker of the section, so that it created this like kind of spiral, so it wasn't decreasing on either side, it was just decreasing on one. And I really like the way it looked. I will put it on for you so that you can actually see it on a head. So yeah, just a classic ribbed toque, and it's got quite like she can fold the brim up quite a bit if she wants to, have it higher off the forehead or lower down or whatever. It fits me very well. It's very soft, and I think she will really enjoy it. I've knitted a turtleneck, like a roll neck maybe, is that what that's called? Like a roll neck pullover for her in the past when I lived in the UK for her birthday, and it's kind of in this sort of blue color, and she really liked that color, so that's why I kind of went with that theme again this time. But also just this color being called Windermere was just like, it was perfect. So I think I'm gonna send her also a printed picture of us on the lake on Windermere. When was it that we took that trip? Maybe in 2021 or something, I think. I've gone on a few trips with this friend, and anyway, she's a good travel buddy. But anyhow, yeah, I just wanted to show you those things before they actually get shipped off to her. Hopefully tomorrow I'm going to package everything individually, number them, and ship it off so that it's there to her by the 1st of December, which is when she needs to open the first gift. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm sorry if it was short. I actually don't know if it's short. Maybe it won't be. Or a little bit scattered. Like I said, it's just been a little bit of a heavier month, and it's been harder for me to wrap my head around what needs to get done. Not just knitting wise, but just in life. I feel like I am like chiseling away at my to-do list, my ever-growing to-do list, and so it feels a little bit it feels slightly discouraging, just where I'm at right now. But yeah, I'm hoping to kind of shed some of that worry and responsibility and anxiety over some of the things that have been floating around in my life right now very soon. Yeah, I hope you're having a really good autumn. It is beautiful right now. Ooh, and windy. I think we've just kind of gone over the peak of autumn colors where I'm living now. And yesterday it felt like the peak, and today we've had a big windstorm come through and take all the leaves down. So it's always a bit, I get quite anxious when autumn, when we get to kind of end of October, and then I know that like with just one gust, everything that's absolutely gorgeous will come tumbling down. And it's happened today, I think. Yeah, but as it must, winter's coming, and I love winter, so I'm excited about that too. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for all of the new followers who have joined recently. Thank you to all the people who have been here since day one. It's been amazing to be part of this community, and I'm really grateful to be adding my voice to the many beautiful, talented, and amazing people who are contributing to this like fibery community online and in the world, and I'm just forever grateful for each one of you and for all of the knowledge that I've gained from all of your comments and your videos. If you're also a podcaster, I try to watch or keep up with quite a few of them, although I don't have a ton of time to, but it's been just amazing to share in the delight of the fiber community with you all. So thank you so much.